So what if you've got a leak in your car tyre, but for whatever reason you can't get to a tyre shop to get it fixed? Maybe the car's off the road, or maybe you just want it done quickly, or maybe it's a weekend and the shops are shut. How do you do it yourself? So I'm going to show you how to fix a leak that's caused by the rim corroded. This is an alloy wheel, and they often corrode, especially where they've been scratched by tyre shops in the past. And I reckon on this one it's probably leaking around the rim. But how do we find out where it's leaking? Get a spray of water and a bit of detergent, spray it around the rim, and we'll find out. So spray it around the rim when it's horizontal. And if you've got a leak, then with a little bit of detergent added into the water, you should start to see a bit of bubbling around the edge. Now try and spray away any bubbles that might be just caused by the little spray bottle. And yeah, so here we start to see lots of bubbles. Spray away those bubbles, see if they reappear, and they do. So there's one leak, and that's enough to want us to get the tyre off the rim. So there's certainly one there. And let's check the other side while we're at it. I think I'm going to have to do both sides. And one of the things that causes corrosion on alloys is tyre shops knocking on weights like here. So, and indeed, I think we've probably got leaks. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's air bubbles coming from here. So these knock-on weights dig into the paint, cause corrosion, and then a couple of years later it starts leaking from that exact point. Pain in the arse, which is why I often don't trust garages to do things on cars. And you don't have a lot of choice with tyre shops, but unfortunately there's a lot of bad tyre shops around as well that damage your wheels. Got another leak around here, so the whole thing needs repairing. It'd be good and easier if you could take it to a tyre shop, get them to do it for, I don't know, 10-15 quid or something, pounds. But you can do it yourself. But as a warning, I'll tell you that you probably will scratch the insides of the alloy wheel. If it's an old car and it's leaking anyhow and it's corroded, you probably don't care. And it will make a bit of a mess of it when it comes to changing the tyre next time round as well, because what I'm going to do is put sealant around the inside of the tyre. It's up to you what sealant you use. Probably anything would do, to be honest. I think the tyre shops tend to use some sort of orangey stuff, which I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to use a very sticky polymer sealant, black one, but a transparent one will do as well. And because it's so sticky, it really sticks to the wheel and makes a good seal. Doesn't come off. Because it's on the inside, it won't show either, as long as you don't go too mad with the sealant. So the first thing we've got to do is let out the air in the tyre and get as much out as possible, because what we're going to try and do is push the tyre away from the alloy in order to get into this inside edge. So I'm going to push down on the valve inside, sit on it and let the air out. Try and push the tyre in as much as you can, get as much air out as possible, because next what we're going to do is try and push and pull the tyre away from the alloy wheel. And if you get it more than about an inch or so, then you'll find that not only will it let all the air out, but it'll move away from the edge and you can get to that critical sealing surface. So in a tyre shop, of course, they use a special machine for this, but I'm just having to use screwdrivers, which is where you'll end up scraping, or even which is where you will end up scraping the alloy wheel on the inside, hopefully not the outside, as I nearly did then. You have to be a little bit patient here, so you have to push it in and lever it up at the same time to push the rubber away from the alloy wheel, and keep doing this all the way around. By the time you've gone around probably a couple of times, you should see the rubber starting to move away from the alloy, and then eventually it'll start to become very loose and give you enough clearance to get your sealant around on the inside of the alloy wheel. And then what you do is just inflate the tyre to push the rubber of the tyre back into place, and the job's done. It'll be sealed. If you're watching all of this, I'm going to now put it on time lapse. Alright, so there you can see the rubber tyre has been pushed away from the wheel. We have sufficient gap to get our finger in between the alloy wheel and the tyre to clean it out and put some sealant in. So just clean away any water that might have got in from testing for leaks earlier. And quite probably, because of the leak, you'll have some flaky paints like that. Just scratching away the loose stuff with a screwdriver. Seems to work okay. A few times I've done this. Just got to stop the air bypassing the sealant. And you can see that, of course, you do scratch the inside of the alloy doing it in this do-it-yourself method. Not something I'd recommend if you've got expensive alloys, and most people, if they've got any sense, would take it to a tyre shop, but just if you can't be bothered, or like doing things yourself, or don't want to spend any money at all, then this is how you can do it. So, wheel's been cleaned off. Loose paint has been roughly taken away. Sort of sealant I like to use is anything with the name polymer in it. Polymer sealants like MS polymer or something are extremely tacky, and the sort of sealant that you will see used on body seam sealers, which can be painted on straight away. So they're extremely tacky. So what we'll do here is lay down a continuous bead of sealant onto the alloy wheel. You can see that, yeah, hopefully you can just about see that. It's getting a little bit dark. I've gone all the way around. I will rub my finger around it to make it a smooth flat layer, spread it everywhere, and then we'll blow up the tyre to push the rubber of the tyre against the alloy, which makes it seal. We'll do that quickly before it sets, and then we'll do the other side using the same method. And I've already done one tyre the other side of the car using this, and it's sealed perfectly. This is where it can get a little bit painful on your finger because your finger gets squashed a bit. But what you do, push back the tyre, smooth the sealant, spread it round without it coming over the edge of the alloy, so that it won't actually show. Go all the way around. Now get some tissues and clean off any polymer sealants that you might have got on the alloy, because it is very sticky, tacky stuff. Tends to get absolutely everywhere. Obviously it's useful if you've got a airline or an airline, which makes it easier to pump up the tyre. If you haven't, you'll have to find another source of pumping it up. Possibly you could use a hand pump, but this is certainly a lot easier. Pump it up, you then see the rubber pop back onto the alloy wheel, squeeze against the sealant and create a good seal. Nearly there. And then just pump it up to the right pressure and job done. Okay. Obviously test it with spraying on water again, but you'll find if you've done it like that, that'll create a perfect seal around your rim and you won't get any more leaks. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.